Court of Order. At this time, I'd like to call on Commissioner Moller for his invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today so proud to be a citizen of this greatest country on the face of the world. We're so proud and so thankful for the many freedoms that we have and all of the abilities to govern ourselves and do the things that bring prosperity, hopefully to all the people in this country. Lord, we just ask that you bless this county and this county family. We know we've got people that have afflictions or members of their family that do, and we just ask that you bless them and lay your healing hand on their shoulders and bring them peace and bring them the healing that they need. Lord, we'd ask you to heal our country. This virus has been a tremendous problem for us, and it's kept us from even going to worship you on Sunday, Lord. We need to get back to the basics, and we just know you're the one that can take care of this. And if you'll just lead us in the right direction, we'll do our part to try to make this happen and get this land healed up and going again for the benefit of all. Lord, we'd ask that you would bless this court as we move forward this morning, help us to make great decisions, and of course, as always, we'd ask for you to be especially mindful of our first responders, those that put their life on the line each and every day to protect us, and those that are serving in our great military, Lord, trying to keep the peace around the world and at home. Just bless those people and protect them if you would. Lord, just thank you for the rain. Thank you for the wonderful opportunities that you present to us each and every day. And we ask all these things in the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
You know, Commissioner, you said something about our churches being closed. I think of that thing was on Facebook. Had the devil on one side, God on the other. He says, I've closed your churches. He said, no, I've opened thousands in our homes.
That's good. That's a good point.
That is one of
That's a
good
good point.
We got to go to Sunday school for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were about half staffed or half
Yeah.
attended. It was good.
That's
It
good.
was really good. Church was attended.
Coming back. That's
Y'all
good.
join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas pledge.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Take seats, please. This time I'd like to ask for any public comments from anyone in the audience or on the phone. Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I'm going to ask the court to take action or bring up items of legal explanation.
After reviewing the consent agenda, I make a motion we accept it as presented.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Any comments, anyone in the audience have any questions on those items? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries 5-0. Item number 1 is review and approve the regular bills for payment.
Motion to pay, Judge.
Second.
Okay. Any questions, anyone in the audience on the bills? Motion by Commissioner Muller, second by Commissioner Harvey to approve the regular bills for payment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried 5-0. Item 2 is receive monthly investment report from Mr. Hampton, County Treasurer.
He's on his way up.
He's on his way up. Yeah.
He's been delivering mail.
I'll go ahead and give Commissioner Beecham was on a well-deserved vacation to Jefferson.
Yeah. Great time for the
Super.
Is it a big place?
small.
Okay.
Okay. I sat in on the meeting Friday with the law enforcement committee. They, once again, as Commissioner Beecham has been reporting, things are just moving along very well. There is not anything you would say, gosh, we've got a significant problem that we're falling behind on. That just isn't it. We're still working with U.S. Cellular on the phone system and how what they may ask us to do, which would be to our benefit, if we give them a longer contract, then they will amortize out the equipment they place in there. Now, the thing is, right now, they're only looking at support of U.S. cellular equipment, and that's what our phones are, and that we have under contract. And to allow for people coming out there visiting that want to make calls, and if they can't get signal because of the thickness of that building and the roof, then there will be 2 public phones they can pick up and make local calls with others in the lobby. And so that should take care of that. Both of the concrete poles have been delivered, one of which Commissioner Beecham got for free. That's it, and we'll just throw this one
It
in.
wasn't quite for free, but get the delivery for free.
Oh, delivery for free.
Delivery for free.
Oh,
Virtually free.
Yeah, it was
Still lives.
still, got a good deal on it.
And everything seems to be moving along. One of those will be the tallest one, the 45 foot, will be up next to the sheriff's office area because of the equipment that mounts on it. The other one will be down by the rifle range building to accept some equipment there.
At the Trotter?
Yeah, it'll be,
Yeah.
it will,
Oh, they're just antennas. Big antennas.
the one at the gun range will be for security cameras for the gun range, something we've been wanting to put up out there
Okay.
anyway, so that way we can cover.
But they're concrete poles, like a,
Yeah,
why did they become concrete instead of just a pole? I mean, what was the
they
deal?
last forever for a while.
Oh, okay,
They're
okay, so it was a better
extremely-
material.
Yeah, they're very cost effective to use as opposed to a freestanding tower when you get up to that height.
Yeah,
So,
like the street lights on I-44, they're all
those are steel poles.
spun aluminum, I
Yeah,
think.
well, they're steel or spun aluminum, either one,
Yeah.
so.
Well, that's what that flagpole was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Spun
it
aluminum.
was a street light.
That's where it came from, was off of
Yeah.
that construction project.
Now it's a flagpole for the
Yeah.
Texas Forestry Service.
Yeah, they made several of them. One at the EMO office is an old streetlight pole.
Yeah, yeah.
So, beyond what Judge has already reported, they started to put the front porch on, so we're getting a little of the facade done now in the building. We delivered the bulk storage units. And so,
I was actually by it last week and hadn't seen it in 2 or 3 weeks, and it's amazing how it, it's progressed and moved along, pretty impressive.
When they start doing dirt work and landscaping and all that stuff, boy, it just makes the whole place change like overnight. Yeah,
4 weeks from tomorrow, we'll be setting cornerstone, so.
yeah.
Been moving.
And the past spring master is my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Hey, Bob? Yes. Excuse me, Mr. Hampton, how many people? Okay, yeah, I remember Ray.
Mister always look around to see if my dad's still around.
He's around somewhere, Bobby, where he's got us. But,
Hope
how many, I was gonna have masks made with the Masonic emblem on them. Do you have any idea of how many, at least for the masters of the lodges that are gonna be here and any other,
The commandery.
you know?
Is the commandery gonna be there?
Well, there'll be some members of the community, but this is mostly a Blue Lodge affair, so it'll just be aprons
Okay.
What time is that?
and shit. But we'll want to get with Commissioner Beecham.
Okay, go get another wheel, because I'll need to order those, so we'll have them in.
Okay, I'll get a number for you.
All right.
Have it penciled in at 11 right now.
But the,
What day of the week is that?
Friday.
Friday? Yes, sir.
Is that this Friday?
No, 4 weeks.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's why.
September 18th.
Okay. All right.
That's gonna be a real nice field to do that. And, then that'll just be part of it. The power there's power in the building now, but it's not the full switch over. That's gonna be, I think, next week.
Okay.
I think that's what they reported the other day, but, and then is it this Friday, Lacey, that we're?
Yes.
We've got some people in the courthouse that have said they'd love to see what it is, So, we're gonna do that. It'll probably take a couple more, but we need to know if somebody wants to go early and all that. It's gonna be, we're gonna do that at 1 o'clock or no, 2? 2. Okay. All right. Okay, that's all I have on that. Mr. Hampton, we're back with you to put together give us our monthly investment report.
Okay, good. Well, Jim's will speak there. I can. We're going to deal with, of course, there you are, end of July. And, yes, sir. I'm going to give you a kind of a general idea of where we were financially. Really?
Thank you, Bob.
Well, in that package, you're gonna see what we're up against. I put that, these are the things that I get that indicate our opportunities to invest. If you're looking at that, do that on the front. That's a 5-year at 0.57.
Wow,
5 years.
wow.
So, there's different kinds of market risk, and so what we're doing is we're just trying to, so you'll know what's going on down in the treasurer's office. We're staying with the bank. American National is being very generous with us right now in regards to the overall general economy, and so.
So we're getting better than a half a
We always
percent?
support our bank depository.
Are we getting better than 0.5%?
We are. We are on most accounts. Now, tax pool, of course, is completely collapsed, so we're gonna start moving monies back into the bank.
To say that again,
Including
Bob, what has collapsed?
Tax pool.
tax pool is down to 0.3 in our prime, 0.3. And it's gonna get probably worse than that according to Murphy. I had a nice conversation with Murph Friday. But that big list, of course, gives you an idea of the 2-year treasury right now is 0.15, 2-year treasury. And the 0.10, of course, is 0.7, 10-year treasury. Those are things that involve us as far as making financial decisions with the county money. Now, looking at your July report, in reflection to it, didn't look all that bad, except the fact that we've got a lot of money now in our bank account and our gold account, and also
Tax pool's down to 0.2.
yeah, that's the ordinary tax pool, and then the one below it, tax pool prime.
So American National Bank shows a 0.8.
Yeah. So that's what I say, we really need to support our bank every chance we get. And
Wells Fargo has got us at a 1.75. Why wouldn't we put our money there?
where do you see Wells Fargo, 175?
Right here?
That's for July.
Oh, that's a CD.
Oh, that's a CD?
Yeah, those are CDs.
Okay.
What you're looking at now is top 2 lines of agencies, which we can do up to 5 years. Below that, CDs. Those are still insured up to $250,000. And then below that is American National Bank, Tex Pool, and then below that are a variety of other banks that we're using, most of which we've been able to lock in for as long as they go out. So that's a good question. And anybody have anything else on page 1?
What is this right here? Under additional
General assets right here,
Yeah.
CD, what is this? American National Bank?
Cedars, it's a deal that you can put in more than 250,000. It's a complex variety of banks that put into the same program with the same insurance, FDIC.
Well, this number here at .392, and this number here at 2.19.
Yeah, that's a CD that we.
Oh, these are all CDs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We've locked in those time frames.
we got 8 million at .39. And we got 250,000 at 2.4. Let me know.
Yeah.
So when that matures, like this Texoma Credit Union,
Mature in June of 21.
June of 21.
Hopefully, that rates will be back up.
I hope so.
I think things will straighten out probably November 3rd, but anyway,
I think you're right.
Be done, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see the count not be completely done in a few days. With the mail-in ballots, you know. Do what
Judge, you don't want to get me started on my opinion of mail-in ballots, but I'm just a civilian. Now, any other questions on your spreadsheet?
What is 216 here? What is 216?
216 is reserved for self-insurance.
Self-insurance, okay.
Right.
And this one is,
American National and
um,
Tex Pool.
is this still underneath
And this-
reserve for,
These are all these are all 216 self-insurance.
okay, 216
Just like
self-insurance.
this is all permanent improvements 401.
Okay, got it. This is our total for self-insurance, which is not bad. Is our deductible on our self-insurance deal 50,000, 75,000?
You gotta separate, that self-insurance there has to do with the district and the county clerk. It was also where we put additional money at the time when we were mostly self-insured. We now have general liability and law enforcement insurance through Texas Association of Counties. So that money then could be called upon to pay, like on our weather damage, we're working on that, could be called upon to, you know, pay that deductible. Because it exceeds the amount we have to have in there.
And what is the amount we have to have in there?
I'm thinking, you gotta look at it, and I don't know what we ended last year's figures, but it's in the 1.5 to 2 million range.
Well, that possibly could be $1 million in reserves.
Are there any other questions on the spreadsheet? Lee, got anything else?
Well, I just turned the page, Bob, we gotta read it.
Okay, good. No rush, I'm your boy.
You bring any of that campfire trail next, no?
I've got it for you though. You want a case?
I thought you probably did, I probably do.
Which flavor? I'll bring it to you.
Oh, now you're making it complicated.
Well, I'll just bring you an assortment.
Is that service?
$30.
I ask you, is that service, yeah?
That's a bargain.
That is a bargain, that you can't buy.
And you're-
And it's very
Dealing with
good too.
commissioners, you know, it's cash, no checks.
It's very good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand that.
On our, does this reflect our reserve?
That reflects the money that I have currently listed for you in precinct 2, which
Invested?
includes one agency, which is a federal home loan, American National, and Texas.
Yeah, these are my investments,
These are yours, that's what,
and this money I can call upon if I need it.
well, we're gonna deal with
Not
that.
exactly.
We're gonna deal
So
with
that's my
that.
question, you know, when we were talking with Willie, Willie said that 2 and 4, you know,
2 might be able to make the budget, 4 definitely will not. So what about this?
What you've got to look at when you see that money, what did you budget? You may have that much, but that's, you have fund balances that you didn't budget, then without declaring an emergency, you don't have access to all of
Okay, this is only in an emergency that you have access to your investments?
it. No, sir.
No, okay.
You can budget those, but it's what you budget out of those that you have ready access to.
Okay, you gotta include it in your budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's like when you trade in a large piece of equipment and you wind up getting money back, or you sell it, and that's called an unanticipated revenue.
Yes.
And it's simply an adjustment to the account. But if it's something like that that you didn't have, but you had the ability, then you've got to go through the procedure. Budget if you have a reason to call on
so if you put it in your budget and you want it paid for by such and such investment, you just declare that in your budget.
it. Yes,
hopefully we won't ever have to do that.
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
TJC, TJPC.
This is debt, and this is TJPC.
What is TJCP? Texas
Juvenile.
Juvenile Protection.
Juvenile.
Yeah.
You don't,
They
they
don't-
don't have CSCD in there because that's state money.
Well, this right here's not much for juvenile.
It's pretty much what they operate on
It is?
since I've been involved with it.
Here we go.
And then page
508.
5, of course, is your jail. And these are all the checks listed below that since we got started. So far, we spent $48,000,000, or $46,515, $793.73.
Well, as far along as that jail project is, that sounds about right, doesn't it, Mark?
What is this tracking like it should be?
Yeah.
We have a debt payment due in the amount of $2,488,337.50. It's due on
September 15th.
5 days prior to September 15th.
This will be our third payment on our $70 million bond issue.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure you guys knew about that.
Can we take a reverse mortgage on that?
That's probably all. I'll have to change your name to Tom, though. And also, I put in here a list of checks that we paid this year to TSG, Tyler.
Oh, Lord.
So that's in your packet.
Yeah, I saw it.
And you're probably saying, why did I do that? Well, I'm gonna give you a chance to put your name on this one. Read that over. Judge, I guess you listed as commissioner, but since you were one,
Yeah.
this will go, I'll collect these and put them in my files, but what you're saying is the fact that, as Commissioner of Wichita County, I understand that we have been without financial software in the Treasurer's Office since March 11, 2020, and that's the reason I can't tell you that's your specific number, Lee, in Precinct 2, because I depend on the bank manager to put the numbers together so I can balance my books. We have not balanced since February. And you also understand that we've not been able to transfer monies from fees and fines from the clerk's offices due to their inability to balance with the financial software from Odyssey. You also understand that this inability to balance and present revenue to the Treasurer's Office, most of which, by the way, goes to the state, has gone on approximately 12 months. And you also understand that there's a backlog of paper reporting from the clerk's offices to my office, and that the monies collected through fees and fines are right now being deposited in a non-interest-bearing account. And finally, you understand that this amount of money which is being collected in the clerk's offices has now accumulated approximately $1 million, which translates in my mind, is $7,000 worth of interest income, even calculated on a very conservative 0.7. So I'm gonna get you to sign that.
Bob, these are funds that have been collected, but these are not something we need to bill or we need to collect.
Yeah, they're collected.
They are collected. This
They're
is
collected,
money
but
that's,
they
yeah.
can't transfer them to my office,
Yeah.
which is required by the state constitution,
Right.
simply because they can't balance.
Bob, how do those accounts, how do we acquire the district clerk and the county clerk's accounts they deposit to? Are they part of our bank?
That's that, you remember that deal I said, what do you do down in my office? I brought you that pack of
No,
stuff
no.
from the,
You state here that they are in a non-interest bearing account. How do we select a non-interest bearing account to deposit to?
they collect the money still,
Yeah.
and it's required by law that they make a daily deposit down to my office.
I know, but they're depositing into an account that you picked out for them?
No.
Did
Those
they go
are
and-
clerks' accounts.
And they don't have to adhere to our banking policy as far as
See,
selecting
they
a
deposit
financial
it, and then they give
institution?
me a check for that money when they balance
I
every
understand,
day.
I understand.
See, they
My
don't balance
problem
now in a
is,
year.
who picked out the checking account
They
that
do.
they're
They set it-
depositing money to?
They set up,
It's not a part of our banking financial institution
well, yeah,
bid.
that's part of their, their,
Okay. but
County
it's not
clerks
part
and
of the
district clerk's
contract
office.
We make with the bank, the county depository bank, is separate of that, the same as the tax assessor is separate of that. They transfer money out of those accounts into the county's depository account.
If
yeah,
it
and that's
works,
what we've been doing, ever since time immemorial. Instead of bringing me cash, they bring me a check.
Check.
Well, and when it's a pass-through deal,
That's right.
non-interest-bearing account doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we're in a different territory here now.
Yeah, I'm not throwing the clerks under the bus.
Right.
I'm telling you, we're in a situation that, we gotta get something done. And we're paying Tyler a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we're not paying them a lot of money, they're doing a lot of work, that will get resolved. It's close, I have talked to the comptroller's office, they are fine, they understand what's going on. They are used to people going through conversions that don't work well. And then the other thing is they got with that new, system they came up with on fines and fees that only the Greeks understand.
Oh, yeah,
A lot of counties have not been able to get that.
and that's the reason I put that in there, because when this all gets fixed, I hope that the 5 of you, I know one of you, Mr. Wall understands it, but there's gonna be a flood of paperwork in my office, and You know, 3 cents go into this account, 2 cents into this account. It's,
Well, Bob, can you even do it, if they balanced in Odyssey, do you even have the software on the TSG side to do it?
I don't have any software at all.
So it's a moot point, I mean, we can't do it till both of them are fixed, right? Is that right, Karen?
That's the reason I brought my brains with me.
Well, that's a
Where?
double quandary.
And this isn't like old Bob's mentioned this in August of 2020. Unfortunately, I just never did
Document it.
get Jim to represent me.
But he does criminal defense, Bob. We don't want you being represented.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about, is because the state constitution is pretty clear about the county's treasurer's responsibilities. And, I mean, can you
Have these officers-
remember when I hadn't been harping on the financial software?
Have they forgot how to do big chief tablet and the number 2 pencils? I mean, what did we do before we had computers?
That's a good point.
We can go back and do it the hard way or the long way, but we can do it. Huh?
It could be, but I mean, every
Good
transaction
deal,
Bob got.
give me a third person then.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Shrinking my
That's what I was thinking. You're gonna need a couple more people in there when this flood of paperwork comes
That's the
in.
reason I call you brother.
Every transaction, Bob, his office will have to make 20 plus deposits to accounts,
But
right?
the key is to get it fixed and get it
Yeah,
functioning.
that's the key.
That's the key.
That's the key.
But I don't know.
But you don't wait a year and not make, your payments to the state. I mean, you go back to the old way and just get it done.
You won't wait a year.
But I
We're almost a year.
I know, but you, let's just say you personally won't wait a year. They're coming at you.
another thing is that,
Guys, y'all waiting on signing that
Oh.
until the council reviews that.
Well, I guess but I mean, I understood everything that was on there. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. It may not be the,
Well, he's just informing us.
yeah.
By golly, this is
And
what I
we
was saying.
knew that. I've known that
I've known
since
it.
this started. that-
but, I mean, here's the reality that the Odyssey is it's gonna flow, and they're close, the county clerk's fixing to deposit, but district clerk, there's a solution there.
What about Munis?
No, what I'm talking about though, what Bob may not be able to repair is the TSG side of this equation, because we are the last Mohican. They may not want to repair that.
Well, they have a contract with us to do that. And they are,
Which-
it is going slow because it's.
Which they told us years ago.
Yeah, they, 6, 8
Years.
So. And now we are the last ones use that. The Munis is supposed to go live January 1st.
January 1st. And that complements Odyssey.
Yes.
It's a
They will be a lot easier once Bob's got into that. It'll be easier transaction for him than this TSG nightmare, but.
And my office has not been apprised of that January date or anything out of Munis, so.
I just heard that last week. So.
Brother Bob, tell us about John Tunnel.
Good man. Solid as a rock.
Karen has a question.
Yeah, a comment. If we even went today on a new system, let's say, and put the receipts in from March or whatever, we have to somehow get those balances out there, out of TSG.
Our old balances.
Yeah. For you to have a true balance, you'll have to get those.
We
what
can't
have
get them
in-
today, we can't.
No, no.
No, we can't.
And then, so what happens, Bob, if Lori walks in there with 12 checks today from each one of her months, how are you gonna deposit them in balance?
We're not.
We're gonna get out the big chief, and then that's what we're doing right now. We're recording everything. We're still doing transfers. The agencies are still being called away from us. CDs are still being matured. We get weekly, monthly.
But you would have to
interest.
do it by hand then.
We're doing everything by hand right now. But, it's just like the general fund. The general fund, which we call 100, is made up of 43 sub-accounts, one of which is the permanent improvements, which I have no idea where we are today. The other is self-insurance, which I have no idea where we are today. And the other side of it is precinct money. There could be another $250,000 floating around that's in maybe Commissioner Beecham's account. It should be in Commissioner Martin's
Harvey's.
account.
Yeah.
Well, don't tell them that.
I
Harvey.
want my money.
Dang it, Marlon, you could've picked me.
I need it.
No, you and Jeff,
We need it.
Well, what's the roadmap forward?
roadmap forward is, we need to get
The
experts up
Odyssey
here
deal,
to
Mark,
get us
is
running.
close. We've been getting updated weekly on that, and Lori is she is fixing to close. We found a solution for Patty, and we're moving forward with that too. But it still doesn't circumvent the fact that both of those departments walk checks to Bob. Bob still can't conclude the transaction because it's on the very old side that Bob's got troubles with
Well, we're
TSG.
still gonna
What
deposit it, we
fixes
just don't have the,
TSG? That's what fixes
we're gonna
TSG?
deposit the money, but we still have to do
The counting
big
of
chief tablet.
Yeah.
What fixes TSG?
That's being worked on, with the revenues, on the revenue side. The expenses are fine, working. It's the revenue that's not working in there. TSG is working on it. It's just a slow process.
Who broke it?
Is this, am I understanding this correct, that we paid TSG $250,000 this year? Boy, I thought
That's,
we're not getting pretty good value for our money if we're.
some of that is Odyssey money, but it's so noted
All right,
there,
well,
but the rest of it
this is
is,
this
you
is
can't
a
even
software
tell it
group.
from
I guess
PAS.
Yeah, all of that goes under the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
majority.
Odyssey and Munis are both Tower, so,
okay. Still,
Well, they're really all owned by the same group, right?
yeah, Tyler,
They're under.
out of Plano. We're not talking about a Yankee,
You mean they're just a plain old computer company?
Plano computer company. But most of my colleagues use Net Data for, and I've told the judge that.
Right.
Does Net Data integrate with Munis?
No, there's another company altogether.
We sign
While you weren't here, we voted to pay those, by the way.
I think we smashed some money over there, take that first.
We're down to anyone in the audience, any comments, bring up. Commissioner Beecham? I have Commissioner Harvey?
I'm looking on my calendar here. We got some stuff coming up. Are we going to the legislative conference? Or has it been canceled?
virtual at the end of the month, Lee, here.
Okay, 26th, 27th, and
We're
28th
gonna do it in this room, all of us.
in this room?
And Nancy's
We
posted.
talked about it last Monday.
Okay. And we have, on the 18th, oh, that's not, that's September. Oh, I am thinking September. Everything's coming up. Okay. Other than that, just thank you for the rain. We'll, as soon as the bardages go down, I'm sure we'll be right back out mowing what little we have left. And then, it's really good that it rained because when we apply our chemicals in our bar ditches, it's a lot easier to kill a growing plant than it is a stagnant plant. So it's gonna be just really, really good timing for our chemical spraying in our bar ditches. Barry?
It's actually impossible to kill a stagnant plant, but you're right. You're exactly right. because they're not taking in the
Yeah.
chemicals, so.
Hard dead one, it's hard to kill a dead one too.
It is hard to kill that one, but easier than one that's just sagging.
I hate mayor's tails,
Oh, they are prolific.
man.
Your turn.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah, I'm done.
You know, just, when you get a rain in August like we got last night, and I know there was some wind damage, I know a bunch of our trees got pruned, and there are quite a few pieces of patio furniture, trampolines moved around.
Okay.
Trash cans, yeah, that's okay, it was a pretty good assortment coming in this morning,
I
but,
picked up my trash out of the yard this morning, my trash can blew over.
that will do so much, not only for our agriculture sector, but it will be great for our volunteer fire departments because it will take some pressure off of them. We green this stuff back up. It's just, we just can't appreciate what that really means in this
That's
part of
right.
the country, especially after a week of 105s and 108s and 9s. And I think somebody even said they saw some 115s on some of the vehicle thermometers. It was brutal this last week, and our guys chip sealed right through the middle of it.
Yep.
And got a lot done. Rockbox ran several days uninterrupted and does a nice, I know, but it's so much better than that old one. It's more efficient. One of the things Jerry and I noticed is our rock yield is so much better. That other one is really wasteful. And we just got to comparing, you know, notes and our tonnage. It's gonna help us a bunch, and that's good. But we wind up sweeping a bunch of it away because it's not putting it out in an efficient manner, so that was a good thing. But our road crews, and I told somebody this the other day, I said, we're so proud of the work they've done through the pandemic and all the heat and everything else. Those guys, they've hit it every
Stay
day.
hooked and hit it hard.
And they've got well, I think we've got as much work done this summer as we ever have, and that's a good thing. And we appreciate those guys, and we probably don't say thank you enough to them for getting out and getting that done. But other than that, just moving toward fall.
You
I
know,
can't
Barry, another
believe it.
blessing is that the Texas Forestry Service, they
Oh,
have 4 dozers here.
Lee, I'm telling you,
And
they've
they
taken
have
the,
rolled out every day this last week.
and they have taken the pressure off of us, and they're so much better at it than we are.
Sure.
And that is a tremendous asset to this community.
It's just huge. When you have 4 dozers pull up on a fire, it ain't long, it's out.
Not just 4 dozers, but 4 that know what they're doing,
And well, yeah, and they didn't back burn.
and the backup
They
crews.
didn't back burn it. They burned up that farmer or rancher's
Well,
grass. or
I
whatever.
witnessed that back, Judge, on when we had those devastating fires. Well, we were losing the battle, and those boys rolled in from West Texas, and they immediately took charge. And within a couple hours, we had it turned around going the other way. And it's just that expertise is just tremendous. We're so fortunate to have them in our community. They're quick to respond, so that's good.
They just got their name approved, Judge. They're gonna be known as the Boontown Strike Force.
Good. That's good.
With their patches and all their signage and everything, so.
Cool.
They don't get masks with that on it?
If you haven't visited that facility, you need to. Right now, the warehouse part of it is full of supplies that come in on trucks every day, for star requests for all the different,
Do people come out there and pick it up, or do they deliver it?
both. That's both. Some of this, some of that. But most of it, I think, is delivered to the hospitals and well, not necessarily the hospitals. The hospitals are different. They're supplying nursing homes, a lot of nursing home stuff. And I believe they're fixing to start supplying school systems. So we've opened up a second warehouse that they found available that they can afford in Electra. So there's gonna be staging in Electra and
Speaking of that, school start tomorrow?
Thursday.
I think-
Thursday. I
Thursday.
believe.
School started yesterday in Burke.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, this
Yesterday.
morning in Burke.
Yeah.
It's cars everywhere.
Yeah. Boy, pray for a good outcome. We need that to work. We really do. Get headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Commissioner Watts?
The roller, you'll appreciate this. Cat came out and helped us. Of course, they had it tuned and it was running fine, and then it started starving out. Well, he came and worked it all over, still had issue. He was ready to fold up, and Jack had asked him to pull the fuel line off and blow in that fuel line. He thought there might be some trash, possibly. Well, they did, and it shot back good, steady flow, and Jack had him take the cap off the fuel tank, and here comes all this pressure. Well, that little cloth deal on the cap had clogged up the vent, and it was starving that roller for fuel, and once they changed the cap, she's not missed a lick.
Vacuum, pull the vacuum.
Pull the vacuum on
And
it.
if that wasn't a pretty thick steel tank, you would already collapsed it.
Yeah, I've seen them suck in.
Yeah,
That one.
so,
Is that on your old roller or my new roller?
no, our old rubber tire roller.
And the key to that is don't ever pressure that tank up and then take that cap off. Because it will go about 100 feet in the air with a stream of diesel right behind it. I've experienced that before. Don't do that.
Shut up.
Don't do that.
So anyway, we're making progress there, and we're fixing to move back to South Bible Park, finish up our mowing there, come around this rain. I didn't hear what Electra got this morning.
know.
As far as, do y'all know? Had y'all heard, or is it the same as
I had 2
us?
3/4 in my backyard.
That's very
Good
good, and I
rain.
had 1 1/2,
Really
so.
Good rain.
But we're winding that up, so that hopefully will be good. And then where are we at? Are you still like just a little jag, right? And that's all we like, right?
Moller Road, I've got a soft spot out there. I'm gonna dig it out. I'm gonna have to pour concrete, probably dry concrete down in there because it's a spring type deal. Put that in there, let that dry, put a little bit more in there, let that dry until I can get something firm enough to get the road put back in.
How does that, does never, a French drain never is applicable, or to carry it from one side to the other? or
Well, you gotta have a place for it to go. That's the big challenge.
Well, also the challenge is, there's a little spring that runs through there, it's 40 feet wide.
Oh,
It's not a one spot deal,
Oh.
it's like a,
layer of water.
right, and when we were milling it up, we got that thing, that big milling machine that, ooh.
And the problem, Jeff, it's not like a rain where you get a big mass of water and that French drain will take it away. It's just a constant seep. There's no big mass of water, but it's wet, however many feet deep.
So I'm gonna have to dig it out and
Try to get a bridge.
try to build me a little bridge so I can put
Yeah.
some crusher rod on top of it and finish my road.
You gotta have something that'll span that spot.
But as you dig it out, it's just mud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just mud. Kind of aggravating.
Stack it to the side and
Put
bring it back.
it in the truck and haul it off.
Yeah.
Put it in the truck and haul it off.
Yeah, you'll have water running out of the back of the truck. It's
You
just
do.
saturated.
It's mud.
Yeah, we've done some.
So you see what I'm talking about, if I can get down in there and get about that far below the 6 inches of road surface I want, and put the powdered seam in, or put
Yeah,
seam
dry
in.
port-
I think the powdered seam would be
Dry
better,
Portland works good.
because it would soak up that water and adhere to it. And I might just let that set and dry, and then possibly put another 2 inches of that same stuff on it. It just depends on how it works, and just try to build something.
You gotta span it. I mean, that's the deal. You gotta span
Yep,
where when something runs over it, it won't drop down in it.
yep.
We've got them in
Right.
several places and have fought them for years.
River Road, boy, that River Road, it was one spot, I guarantee we dug 4 foot down. We put riprap, we put cement, we put riprap, we put cement. I mean, it was like, dig it back out, because it just wouldn't set up and it wouldn't quit coming. I mean, it was just like, what do? You just stay after till you get it. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Portland, and cover it with flowable fill and
Yep, full fill.
Okay. There's a CTIF class that's, and Joyce is gonna send you the info on that. I think sometime this week, or the administrators, and so if you look at that.
Okay.
Tomorrow, there's a Zoom session on SB2 and county budgeting. It starts at 8:30. So I'm gonna sit in on that. You all have the opportunity to refer to that. We can send you the link for it. Then on Thursday, we're gonna have Nortex meeting with mainly just the executive committee of, probably just be the judges and the mayor, some of the mayors, and not as many people as they normally would have at those meetings. Then follow that with the Workforce Solutions board and CEOs meeting.
Now, what's the date and time on that one, Judge?
Well,
20th.
Yeah,
The Workforce Solution?
yeah, it's, they'll follow the Nortex meeting, so it'll probably be about 1. And I don't know whether they're gonna, well, yeah, whether they're gonna have the board there or it's just the CEOs.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you have the board you represent us on, and then you have the judges and the mayor of Wichita Falls make up what they call the chief elected officials. Part of that. So that'll be going on, and then,
Tracy, you're on the board. Okay, have you been notified?
I have not, I don't.
So it's
I
probably
don't think there's gonna be a board meeting.
Yeah.
I think it's just the CEOs. And it's just
I
another
haven't
one
received a
thing
notification.
going on there. Friday will be the regular 10 a.m. work session. Willie, are you about ready to present a budget that we can look at and then hopefully file next week? Will we that far along?
Maybe we can do it this week. If you look at it and approve it, the next Monday, we could vote on the proposed tax rate for the proposed budget. It's not the final, it's, you have to make a vote on the proposed tax rate.
Willie, what was, you told us the no new revenue rate is around 65 cents, real close to?
67.
53
Oh, I see.
plus the debt.
Plus road and
Road and
bridge.
Yeah.
But that all tallies 65?
Right.
Right.
67, isn't
No,
It's
No new
today,
revenue
we're
rate.
talking about no new revenue rate
Yeah, it'll be
because of
less.
our values up.
it? Gotcha.
Yeah, it'll
We're
be
backing
less
the
than-
rate down. So in estimation, how much new revenue is being spent in this coming year than what was spent last year on the expense side of the budget?
Well, you've got a little over 300,000 in new value, revenue from new value.
Yeah, but you got 46 million in
So,
new value.
No,
so overall, you're about equal with the revenue that we have for the 2019 tax year, which is this year's budget.
but the expense side is relatively the same. There wasn't, if we're gonna, in this budget year, spend $45 million, we're going to spend about 45 million in the proposed budget as well?
Right.
Okay. There's not much change in expense.
Well, it won't be. You've got a larger expenditure budget. You'll have, I figure, at least
Okay.
15 to 20% fallout.
We've also got 5 million that's an emergency fund with. Put in there. And then the normal contingency fund, which, you know, we are gonna have to watch that close. Commissioner Beecham's got, that elevator project should start this year.
Yeah, we've got the RFPs, we're
Judge, he's
good.
got plenty of money in his precinct budget to pay for that.
Well, you know, he talked about.
I'll loan it to
money
you.
For a while.
3%.
Oh, I'll get a few more points than that. Extra point.
But it will be unsecured, we won't put a tax levy.
Judge, did I read last week that there are some county commissioners courts that are going to go above the SB2 limit under COVID emergency.
Several.
Is that happening? I thought I understood that right, but I
What
wasn't.
I'm seeing,
Well, that's
Barry.
not right to do that.
I've heard of several that already voted on their budget to exceed the SB2 cap.
You know, and just one other little tidbit. I watched a documentary over the weekend, and I've got to go see if I can find it again, because it's one of those things you need to watch it twice. And it was a pretty good synopsis on, you know, we've talked at length in here about our business, real estate, and the fact that it's going to be under pressure. And it was a overall view of actually the United States as a whole and the commercial real estate. And it showed some trends, and what alarmed me about it is it showed a trend in decline in certain types of retail establishments prior to all of the COVID stuff that's come in, and they said that just accelerates the curve down, because there seems to be a major shift going on in the way we do business. And I know that's been one of our concerns when we look at appraisals and where this commercial real estate's going, and that is a big, big part of the picture. So,
Barry, on that note, Lisa gave us a report last week that we will more than likely see another increase residentially in appraised value, but it will be offset with the decline in commercial value.
that's gonna be the kicker. And that residential deal, I assume, is because there's just not any product on the market, there's no inventory. That's what I'm hearing from,
Yeah.
you know, people in the business that got
Look, on
limited
the
inventory.
national level, all the East Coast, their packing and shipping moving down south is through the roof right now. So-
Yeah, it's just replacing, I saw another, I was in the Metroplex this weekend and saw another, looked like 10, 15 acre warehouse going in. I've never seen so much
Yeah.
concrete in one spot.
Everybody's moving south.
Yeah. Just,
You blame
those
it?
things are huge.
No, I don't.
Judge, I'm receiving he's calling it a survey, but this is from that Colin Davis from Texas Water Development Board. It's not a survey. He's wanting to know what our projected expenses are going to be on the water project we have coming up. We don't have a water project coming up, and I'm wondering if they're confusing it with the Ringo project in the
That's
city of
gotta be it.
Wichita Falls.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
I sent him a note and included you on it, just that we didn't have any, but it he re-sent it to me, but it's a request for what our anticipated values will be in funds needed. But
Send it to
I just
Barry
wasn't
Liger.
aware of anything.
So he doesn't understand it's not us.
No, I clarified that in the email.
Well, you can't read it the first time, you probably can't read it the second time. You know, I can explain it to you, but I can't make you understand it.
You know, the people of Clay County, especially Henrietta, they are very opposed to that lake.
Wow.
Pardon me.
Well, I'm sure some are and some
It
aren't.
The
comes-
county judge said they're gonna lose, revenue for the taxes that they collect currently.
That's true.
And,
It's gotta be it's gotta be ag valued though, doesn't it?
let me finish telling you what they said. The, city of Henrietta, which is gonna be not gonna benefit from that lake at all. According to the county clerk over there, county clerk? I think she was a county clerk, that, the property that's owned by the city is only about half of the land that is needed for the lake. And the lake would be very, very shallow.
Well, it's another arrowhead.
With a lot of,
It's
It's another
Arrowhead.
arrowhead.
a repeat of Arrowhead on the same watershed.
So the people of, Clay County, the roads and the houses that are built around the lake and stuff like that, right there in their backyard, that benefits them not a bit. that, all of that would come to the city of Wichita Falls. And,
I would think over time, they would recoup their revenue, and it could be a good revenue
Where
source.
are they gonna get revenue from?
Recreational activity and development around the lake itself.
That's owned by the city of Wichita Falls.
Well, it's still,
They don't get to
they're
cut
not,
taxes
they're not,
on
they're not going to sell properties on it?
No,
It's all gonna be
it's
owned by the
Wichita
city?
Falls.
Okay, got it.
Well, but if the city does what they did around Arrowhead, and they let people lease the land and place dwellings on it, around that lake, they're gonna have that tax
Taxable
revenue.
value.
Your tax
So
on the-
Wichita County, or Wichita Falls.
No,
No.
That's what they said over
well, they're wrong.
there. That's what they think.
Well,
Maybe
I
you call
can't
Mike,
help what
and
they think.
maybe you call
But
Mike and
the
educate him.
property
On the
there,
dwelling.
the revenue for leasing the lots will go to the city of Wichita Falls. But the improvements that are made there within Clay County,
On
Yes.
municipal land,
It's
yes,
still a taxable asset.
to the city of
No,
Wichita Falls.
to the county.
That's what they redid it.
well, I don't see how it could be that way. I'd like to see where they're.
Mike Campbell was the one explaining to me that it's not good for Henrietta or Clay County for us to build Lake Ringo. And why in the world would we name it Lake Ringo? Because you built it in Henrietta. I said, Mike, I don't know. Makes sense to call it Henrietta Lake, but
But it
no,
already is an area of lake, isn't it?
no comment on Henrietta. I don't
No,
know
there's a
Henrietta
small, I
Lake.
think there is a small.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right about the property. A lot of the property is optioned, but not purchased. There are options on it for
Right.
purchase, but
Same thing
they're,
around Possum Kingdom,
yeah.
Brazos Valley. Anyway, it was just,
Yeah.
when I went there, I found, the first time I'd heard anything negative about building that lake. Because I think we need to build it, and I told them we needed to build it. And they're, well, you don't have enough land to build it, you're either gonna have to do eminent domain or buy a bunch more land, blah, blah, blah. I said, "Well, okay, we'll just be educated about
Even
it."
a domain still means it has to be bought. That's-
Yeah.
Well, they're taking it
Yeah, but.
at fair market value,
Yes,
but you won't have a choice. And
no.
and one of them is a big ranch over there that, I can't think of the name of it, Doug.
Body range?
No, I think the body land is optioned already. That's my understanding. But there are surrounding properties, and I know which one you're talking about, and I'll call the name in a minute, but.
Anyway, they said they were gonna lose several thousand acres of their ranch that's been there for a million years.
Yeah, last time I checked, all this land's been here that long.
Longer than I can remember.
Oh, I meant old about it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
right.
And I don't know how long it was, so I said me.
What's the term, older than dirt? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know how old Woody Gossip is,
yeah,
but his social security number's 3.
yeah. We have moved to a high level, haven't we?
Okay, what else we got here, guys? I thought we were gonna make it out of here sooner than we did. We're doing good. Okay, it's 11:03 and we're adjourned.